Hey gang, it's Jay and Ian, and we are off on a hike today, out to explore one of the local parks. We're trying to get out as much as we can here on the weekends to keep practicing things, so we kind of have a fun video in store for you. We're going to put together a group first aid kit or a patrol first aid kit. Something, if you don't already have one, something that you can use to help out your family. Maybe you can put together with your family during these times, put together a first aid kit for the house, or one for your den or your patrol, depending upon if you're in Cub Scouts or Scouts BSA. And important skill to learn, important tools to have. But also, those of you Cubs who are working on your first responder adventure, one of the requirements is making a first aid kit. So it's a great opportunity to kind of follow along and put one together while we're off here for a few weeks. So stay tuned, stick around. Ian and I, we'll be right back with you putting together a first aid kit. Right, Ian?
Yeah.
Right. We'll see you in a bit. Hey gang, it's Jason and Ian, and we are going to go over making a group first aid kit. We all know that, part of the 10 essentials is our personal first aid kits. I have a little personal first aid kit here that I always keep in either my pant pocket or throw in my day pack. You guys saw in an earlier video on the 10 essentials Ian's first aid kit there. So one of the requirements for the first responder adventure is you need to make your own personal first aid kit. So we thought that maybe this would be a good opportunity to make a group first aid kit, like a den first aid kit or a patrol first aid kit. Real quick, we'll show you a couple of examples of ones that we already have made, and then we'll put one together as a group and have fun with it and talk about a few of the things and why we decided to put those in there. How does that sound, Ian?
Good.
Sound good? All right. So I carry a little personal first aid kit that keep it in a Ziploc baggie. It goes in my pants pockets. It fits in the cargo pocket of a pair of pants, or it fits in the outside pocket of a backpack real easily. It just has simple alcohol wipes, Bandaids, some Moleskin for blisters. We know, your feet get wet or your boots don't fit quite right. You've been walking all day. Chances are you're going to get some blisters. And then we have a couple different size gauze pads in there. We also have a little thing, and this is for us adults, a little thing of some allergy medicine, ibuprofen, some Tums for an upset stomach, little things like that to be able to keep on you to help, ward off any of those types of symptoms. And then just a little bag of triple antibiotic ointments, some burn cream. And the boys the kids are playing around fires, maybe working with camp stoves. There's a good chance that they could burn themselves. So some burn cream, and then a little bit of medical tape for securing things. So I call that a boo-boo kit. To me, that's just your basic everyday first aid needs. As you move up from there, I have a little group kit that I put together that I always have in my pack. It can be a little overkill at times, but a scout is prepared, right? So it doesn't hurt to have those things. The point is to have them, be prepared for them, expect the worst, hope for the best, but to be prepared for it. But also to anything that's above and beyond your realm of medical knowledge, make sure you either obtain the correct training or refer to those who do have the correct training. It's extremely important that you don't try to mess with things that you have no training on to use. And that's one of the great things about the first responder adventure is you have to meet with a medical professional, and they talk to you about a lot of stuff, which is really kind of cool. So it's just a standard bag. I drew a big first aid cross on it for identifying that it is for first aid. On the outside I have a tourniquet, I have a pair of trauma shears or scissors, and then on the other side I have a light stick and a Sharpie for writing with. Great thing I like about this first aid kit personally is the fact that it just opens up real easily. The whole thing opens wide open, so I have everything that I need. Keep a boo-boo kit inside of it. This is basically the same thing as what I showed you earlier, but it's all in one little condensed package. So as a group kit, I have a boo-boo kit in there to be able to take care of needs with simple Bandaids, Neosporin ointments, Moleskin. There's tweezers in there for ticks. Lord knows we've had a tick issue here the last few years, so that works out really good. And it's in a self-contained kit, so it's easy to peel out. It's readily available there. I have some skin closures. These are a little bit of a better quality than some of the ones that you see out there. Great for securing an open wound that maybe you can't stop the bleeding of or can't get closed with regular tape or Band-Aids. Clotting sponge for helping with stopping bleeding. I have a larger bag with bigger sponges in it. Bigger gauze pads, things that you can use for helping make compression bandages, for bigger cuts and wounds when you just can't get the bleeding stopped. I like having that bigger package there. I have a little care card that I keep in all my kits. I like having these because it allows you to write down what is wrong, what the injury is, times, dates, locations, things of that nature. And this is great because you can actually send this with somebody. When you're sending somebody for help, this is something that you can send with them, so they have everything written down already for being able to identify things when they're trying to get advanced care. They can be able to relay that information without losing the information. So being able to have that is really important. A few other things that I have in a larger kit. I have an ACE bandage, great for sprains, great for holding bandages on, great for making makeshift splints, things like that. ACE bandage works out great. I have some extra rolled gauze. Rolled gauze is a great item for securing bandages, securing gauze pads, things of that nature. Rolled gauze is great for packing wounds as well. And then I have a purposeful pressure bandage called an Israeli bandage. Great for really bad bleeds. It's a built-in pressure bandage, so for being able to secure it real quick and to be able to help stop that bleeding, it works out really great. I have a couple CPR face shields. Extremely important. We want to make sure we take care of ourselves, obviously, and protect ourselves as the first responder or the caregiver. Some eye wash. Kids get poked in the eyes, especially walking through the woods. Extremely important. Space blanket. We talked about the space blanket in the 10 Essential video. Space blanket's a great thing to have for treating shock or a makeshift shelter out in the woods or for helping maintain warmth. Nasal airway and lube. Once again, if you have a victim where you need to be able to, you have your ABCs, they're not breathing, you need to create an airway somehow. If the airway is blocked or impeded, a nasal airway is a great way of doing that. Once again, it's an item where you want to make sure you seek further medical training for being able to utilize something like that. And then some simple medical tape. That's really kind of it. A pretty simple kit. You can see it's the way that it's designed. It's designed to take care of more than just your normal boo-boo, but in a group setting. It's able to care for a couple of people. So I like having that. That for me works out really great. I've carried it for a number of years. I like it. So let's make a first aid kit. First, you need some sort of a bag to put it in. We have a bunch of old stuff sacks at home, so I repurposed a stuff sack. Red is always a great identifier as far as being a medical or first aid bag. Drew a big cross on it with a Sharpie so it identifies. This is a great project to do with your den or with your kids at home, especially while we're home during these few weeks during the coronavirus outbreak here. So Ian, what are some things you want to put in your first aid kits?
An ACE bandage.
Well, Ian wants to put an ACE bandage in. We have a boy in our group whose name happens to be Ace, so he is the infamous Ace. So the number one thing all the boys remember is some sort of an ACE bandage. So we're going to put an ACE bandage in our kits.
Gauze.
What else do you think we should have, Ian?
Gauze and a space blanket.
Gauze and a space blanket? Why do you think gauze?
Because if your bleeding doesn't stop, you can use the gauze to wrap it up. So
The gauze works great for wrapping it up, right? So we have a couple packages of rolled gauze. Space blanket, you said? What does the space blanket help us do?
Keep you stay warm.
It can help you stay warm for treating what?
injuries?
For treating injuries or like shock. Your body might go into shock where it starts to kind of shut down a little bit because of injuries. So a space blanket is great for that, and you can
And
make
shelter.
wood out of it, and a shelter. That's right. What about something to protect ourselves, like our
Like
hands, gloves, right? So once again, gloves. Same thing with the CPR face mask. Pair of gloves goes a long way with protecting yourself from fluids and transmission. What might you use these for?
I have no idea what that's at.
So a pair of shears, guys, and gals. A pair of trauma shears. They're really inexpensive to pick up. Great for cutting away clothing, cutting seat belts, cutting a belt off of somebody, cutting a shirt open. Pair of trauma shears can cut through a lot of things like that. So trauma shears work out great. They'll also cut up to a certain gauge wire. So if somebody gets tripped up in some old snare wire or something, this can help cut that open. So a pair of trauma shears. What was this that we talked about, Ian?
Oh, I forgot. Isn't it like the injury thing?
Right, an injury card. So we should throw an injury card so that we can identify things in our first aid kit, or identify any kind of injuries that somebody may have. You remember what we called that, Ian?
This thingy.
Oh, pressure bandage. Pressure bandages, once again, we talked about it earlier, great for stopping severe bleeding. It's a real thing that can happen, whether it's Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts. Cubs are, whittling with a pocket knife around the fire, even under supervision, accidents happen. As a Boy Scouts or Scouts BSA, working in an axe yard, accidents happen once again, especially leg injuries are a real common one where pressure bandage would really help out with things for a bad bleed. Clotting sponge, once again, clotting sponge, stopping small things of bleeding, or not small things, bad things of bleeding. It helps encourage clotting of the blood there. Antibacterial wipes, great for cleaning blood off, dirt, grime, grease off of your hands. A package of wet wipes or antibacterial wipes goes a long way with that as well. The other thing that we want to keep in a group first aid kits, lots and lots and lots of Bandaids, especially with pocket knives and playing with sticks. Little finger cuts, little hand cuts are really common. A whole bunch of Bandaids goes a really long way. It's kind of a simplified kit, really. Throw a little bit of tape in there, throw some eye wash, great for if somebody gets poked in the eye once again, or for irrigating a wound on a hand. We had a camp out a few years ago where one of the boys cut his thumb really, really good. I think he required 5 to 7 stitches. Was it 5 stitches? And to be able to irrigate that in the field for cleaning it out can really help prevent any kind of infection setting in. Sharpie for writing things down on your injury card. That's kind of it. Pretty simple, pretty fun. This is something that you guys can do at home while you're sitting around as a family. Maybe make a family first aid kit at home. If you're in a den and you're at that point where you're ready to work on the first responder adventure, start making one. Start making a group kit and learn some lessons from it. It's a lot of fun putting them together. Not so fun in having to use them, but Scout is prepared. So that's kind of it, everyone. I hope you guys learned something. I know Ian and I certainly, though I think Ian might be a little bit tired here, but I think we had a lot of fun with this, and hopefully you guys learned something. Maybe you learned something new, or maybe you can share something in the comments down below or in the discussion on the page. We would certainly appreciate it. We're just here to help everyone learn and to help others, help themselves and help their families, help their communities, help their groups. It's all good stuff, all right? So you guys keep taking care. Thanks for watching us. We've been having fun do this, but stay tuned. Down at the bottom, I'll put a full packing list of first aid kits. It'll be what you see here, a few other odds and ends, but it's something that maybe you guys can copy, print up, jot down, and share. So keep getting out there and doing your Scout stuff, and be safe. All right, thanks guys. Say bye.
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 And subscribe too.
And subscribe too. We're not doing this for subscriptions. We're doing this to just to help encourage everybody to keep getting into the outdoors and keep working on scout stuff. So guys and gals, take care. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.